Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for the AEW Dynamite post show review. Dynamite is live from Music Hall in Boston, Massachusetts. So Kenny Omega celebration of the World Championship win last week is announced for tonight's show. Also, we will see Andrade wrestling Jake Doyle to earn a shot at the national champion Mark Davis as well. Also, trios match between Willow, Nightingale, Maya World and Hyan versus Mercedes Mone and the Divine Dominion as well. And also Kyle Fletcher defending the international title against Commander. So plenty to look forward. Let's get dive into it and talk about that. So earlier today, we see Will Ospreay training hard backstage, throwing forearms on a heavy bag as Garcia, Claudio, and Wheeler are yelling at him to continue. Moxley walks in and saying, "Quit playing grab ass, it's game time." People make simple things so complicated. They see the target and finish line but hesitate. Ospreay earned this, and there will be a time where he has to make a difficult decision. That time will come, but his dream is not one of those. This is simple. You take the shot, don't hesitate, pull the trigger. And Moxley leaves and Ospreay continues to violently smash the heavy bag. This was a really good segment backstage, and Moxley just training Ospreay, and so Moxley tries to tell Ospreay to do whatever it takes to win the titles, do heel tactics as well. So it's gonna be an interesting story to follow in the coming weeks towards the build of All In. So first action of the night, Cope and Cage defending the World Tag Team Championships against Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. Solid defense for the champions as the Boston crowd loved to hate on Yuta in this one. We got to see Young Bucks in the stands as well, taking a look at the World Tag Team Championships as well. Crowd sings along to Copeland's theme. Taz says that song sucks. Renee is ringside and said, "Try to get a word with Cage today," but you can imagine how that went. Copeland told her the Death Riders are real pieces of shit. You get the drift. So early on, the Boston crowd loudly let Utah know what they think of him. Christian Cage teases a Garcia style dance but flips him off instead, luring Garcia in Copeland Cage with a double team hip toss. We saw corner punches were slipped out by Utah. Only Cage reverse tried a kill switch but settled for the reverse DDT. Garcia charged in but was slammed face first onto Utah. Low signature slingshot uppercut from Cage as well. Copeland and Garcia tumbled to the ramp as Cage suckered referee Bryce into thinking he had take off the corner buckle pad, but led to an attempted low blow on Utah, who blocked into a German suplex for a very close 2 count. We saw Cage hitting a low blow, quick and pop-up spear from Copeland to get the pinfall victory on the Death Riders. So post-match we see Young Bucks applauding from the crowd as well. The Dogs and Claudio hit the ring and attack Cope and Cage in a 5-on-2 beatdown. Then we see Bang Bang Gang's music hit and they cleared the ring, brawling all around the ringside. Switchblade Jay White appeared and took it out on Finley, and Death Riders hightailed through the crowd as well. So Finley and Cage had a stare down. Copeland and Bang Bang Gang stepped between them, and crowd chanted "Hug it out" as Copeland shook all their hands, but Cage left as White hilariously played the air drums with the shillelagh. So they are continuing the Bang Bang Gang versus War Dogs feud as well. We might see a one-on-one match between Jay White and David Finlay, maybe at Redemption. We get the video package of Andrade is shown on a yacht with the lady by his side saying being champion is his destiny. How you know? We then go backstage. Renee was with Andrade, who said he will fight every member of the family and take every title from them. His destiny is to become world champion in AEW. So then Renee reminds him how many members of the family there are, and he pulls out a box containing MJF's Dynamite diamond ring. He said he has a good friend, and Renee asks if that friend is Will Ospreay, and Andrade simply says, "How you know?" So again, interesting story developing. MJF's ring, which Ospreay took last week, is now in possession of Andrade. So there might be a direction for MJF going after Andrade for All In, maybe. Let's see what happens next in this feud. Renee is backstage with conglomeration saying there are plenty of teams wanting the trios titles, and Roderick Strong asks where are they. Cassidy said now would be a perfect time for someone to walk in and challenge them, and invokes the demand saying it's time to take those titles from those backpacks. The conglomeration is attacked by the Lethal Twist. Ricochet said he promised to not lay a hand on the champs until they are ready, but Lethal Twist aren't in the demand yet. So again, there is forming an alliance between the demand and Lethal Twist as well. Next up is Andrade versus Jake Doyle, and this was a very good match, a very good showing for both the men. Andrade was accompanied by two ladies. They show off the dynamite diamond ring that Andrade puts on. Doyle attacks at the bell outside as back inside gets squashed in the corner with multiple splash. Andrade took off his shirt to reveal a censored fuck Don Callis shirt and takes a photo with the female fan ringside. Doyle kept Andrade grounded throughout the break. Andrade tried to mount a comeback, gets streamed out by multiple Doyle shoulder tackles. That looks brutal. Andrade tried a slingshot Hurricane Rana, was caught into a snazzy Liger bomb from Doyle for a very close 2 count. Doyle kicked out of the double corner knees. Quickly up top, Andrade does the Eddie Guerrero shimmy. Only Doyle caught him with a massive forearm in midair for a very close 2 count. Andrade then hit the spinning back elbow and the DM for the victory. So again, a very good win for Andrade. We are told Andrade will now get a national title match against Mark Davis at Redemption. So Davis came out swinging the title, was going to come to the ring, but Andrade put on the dynamite diamond ring and keep Davis and Doyle at bay. So again, it's official for the Redemption pay-per-view national championship match. Andrade versus Mark Davis is gonna be a fantastic match. Next up is Kenny Omega's celebration. Tony is in the ring with the red carpet covering the ring, and he introduces the new AEW World Champion Kenny Omega. Omega walks out in a suit. He looks fantastic. Huge ovation and a pyro display for the new champion. But before he can say anything, Bucks music hits and they walk out with a bag in hand. Matt said they will make it quick. They have been best friends for nearly 20 years and he won the big one all by himself. They are proud of him. And they presented the old AEW World title to Kenny Omega, and Triple B peels away. Nick takes out the classic world title and makes the switch official. That belt looks beautiful. Omega said it's been so long he can't even quote the real number of days he held the world title. AEW family makes it happen for him. He would have given up on himself a long time ago, but these fans, they kept him going. Here we are, less than 50 days until Wembley, but as much as he'd like to say he's ready, he got work to do. So we get Will Ospreay's music hit and he makes his way to the ring. Huge ovation for Will. Ospreay said he glad the Bucks have landed on their feet after he cost them their EVP jobs last year. He wants to have one-on-one conversation with Omega. Ospreay said it was important. Omega believed in himself and he was there to see Omega wrestle 25 minutes in that heat, not giving up, and finally getting the belt that he deserved. The cleaner is back, the best bout machine is back, and says when they get closer to Wembley, things will heat up. They are two alpha males, so it's gonna be a fantastic atmosphere at Wembley. Wembley Stadium main event world title. Let's show them this is where the best wrestles. So again, very good promo by Ospreay as well. And then we get Kevin Knight's music hit and he walks out with the TNT title. Knight said he doesn't mean to break up this brotherly love, but tells Osprey he's got things to talk about to the champion. Knight said he wanted to congratulate face to face, but while they can talk about Wembley, Jetty still ordered title shot courtesy of the Maxwell Jacob fraudman. Omega is a god, but what god is to a non-believer? Knight issues a challenge for redemption against Kenny Omega. So Omega said Knight is trying to hold Omega accountable for a promise MGF made. They are not going to do that. Omega will give him a shot, but just because he's a nice guy. So maybe because the first time Omega saw Knight, he saw something special in it, and he don't need the Callis family to be what he is. Omega said he would be a hypocrite if he told everyone he never believed in what Callis sold him, as the last time he was champion was thanks to Callis. Omega told Knight trust him, he doesn't need Callis. The same words that Speedball said, same words that Will said. Knight could do this all by his own. And Omega said call MJF what you want, but he wasn't a fraud. He defended the title when he said he would do it. The only fraud Omega sees is Kevin Knight. So call Omega crazy, but he thinks there's a lot of good left in his heart. So they're trying to convince Kevin Knight to be a good guy. So if it's going to be a title match at Redemption, he wants the Jet, not Callis Little Bitch. If you're going to be Jet 2 belts, do it on your own, big boy. So Knight said he makes a good point, but one thing is wrong. There's not goodness in his heart, only greatness. And then smash Omega with that microphone. Osprey flew in for a hidden blade, but Knight ducked and bailed up the ramp, where Darby sprinted out and attacked. Cage attacked Allen from behind. Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta got laid out by Omega and Osprey. Hechicero, Jake Doyle are on the ramp. Death Rider's music hits, and Moxley and Claudio wrap even the numbers with the Callis family retreating. This was a very long segment, but ultimately it accomplished what it set out to do. Knight over as the first challenger for Omega as well. Next up is a quick match for Bandido against Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo. Comoroto shows off his power. Bandido escaped and hit a power slam. King tags in, assisted splash, and a sent on for a 2 stun gun into a back suplex as King slammed Comoroto onto his partner, as Bandido followed with a frog splash on the pile for a quick win. So again, a very good showing for Bandido as well. Next up is Fletcher vs Commander for the international title. Wow, what a banger of a match that was. Commander had a shot, but he had them biting at the crazy false finishes down the stretch. He was fantastic, a crazy sprint of a match, and both men crushed it. Lightning quick start for Commander, getting near falls attempts, and he low bridges but caught a leaping Commander of the apron. Fletcher hugged Callis, but back inside Commander was able to battle back. We saw Fletcher recovered with the Yuzugiri, attempted a deadlift avalanche brainbuster from the apron, but Commander slid out or into a double jump snap Hurricane Rana. 450 splash, impressive for a very close 2 count. Commander tries going for the rope walk shooting star. Fletcher swept out the legs. Commander flipped off out of his feet and followed with an insane springboard destroy for a very close 2 count. The crowd goes nuts for this one. Thrust kick connects. Michinoku driver for a 2. Fletcher missed the lawn dart. Commander tried a spinning moonsault caught by clutches of Fletcher, who spiked him with a brainbuster for the pinfall victory. So again, a very good sprint of a match. And Fletcher is being fabulous in this title defense. Post-match, Fletcher went to rip the mask of Commander. Konosuke Takeshita ran out, waffled Fletcher with the hard forearm before picking up the international title. Okada appears from off screen and laid out Takeshita with a rainmaker. Okada and Fletcher both picked up the international title at the same time and had a stare down until Bandido hit the ring. Bandido sent Proto Okada to the floor as Brody King hit a tope on both. Bandido helped Takeshita up, and it was Bandido who was holding the international title. So there might be a challenge from Bandido to international champion Kyle Fletcher, and there might be a three-way coming for the international title Okada, Takeshita, Fletcher at Wembley. Renee is backstage with Kenny Omega as they are approached by Darby, saying Kevin Nash needs to be humbled. Next week he will take the TNT title from him. Omega can waste his time talking or he can beat it out of him. Omega said he will leave that to Alan, who leaves. Moxley walks in saying Alan is right. Some people are what they are, can't pretend to be anything else even if they try. So again, Moxley is consistently in the ear of Osprey and in against Omega as well. So interesting story heading into Wembley main event. Renee welcomes back on stage and introduces Brawling Birds. Jamie Hayter asks Boston if they care for a couple words from the Birds. Alex Windsor said if anyone knows about drinking and fighting is Boston. Wembley is in their side, so close they can taste it. They will beat the piss out of anyone to prove they are the best tag team in AEW Women's Division. So first round is on them and they head out with Renee. So again, setting up the Birds for the women's tag titles shot at Wembley. Jericho is backstage in a dark room and issues a challenge to Ciampa at Redemption. Ciampa brings the pain. Jericho will bring the Painmaker. And the old Jericho is back. The Painmaker will get his redemption at the pay-per-view, if better than Psycho Killer. We get the Ciampa response as well, and he accepted the challenge. It's gonna be a Psycho Killer versus the Painmaker at Redemption. Ciampa issues a challenge to anyone on Collision, saying he hopes Jericho is watching. Welcome to the City of Champions, the city of Ciampa, as he is from Boston. It's gonna be a fantastic match on the pay-per-view between the two. Next up is Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. Wow, this was a car crash. Allin taking these crazy bumps even after what he has gone through in his title reign is crazy to see. Cage came out rocking bodybuilding medal as Allin immediately tried a tope but bounced off Cage like brick wall. Cage hit a brutal suplex from the ring out onto the stage, and I think the impact affected Cage himself in the process. Cage repositions the ring steps, continues beating the hell out of Allin, who cleared the steps, launched off of them with a shotgun drop kick. Allin used his belt to swipe out the feet and hit a coffin drop of the top onto the stairs. Cage beat the count but rolled into a multiple coffin drops for the pinfall victory. So again, a very good win for Darby Allin. Crazy bumps by him, and he will be challenging Kevin Nash next week for the TNT title as well. A pissed off Proto Kada was backstage. Fletcher said he will defend against anyone and will be the greatest international champion of all time. And he wants Bandido at the pay-per-view. It's gonna be Proto Star versus the Most Wanted at Redemption. Okada stood behind Fletcher and kind of just shrugged his shoulder, not very impressed with Fletcher's international title aspirations. So they are setting up the seats for the three-way at Wembley Stadium. It's gonna be a fantastic match. And in the main event, we saw Mercedes and Divine Dominion versus Willow, Hyan and Maya World. Boston crowd loudly behind the heel Mone to start, as she was the hometown girl. Things broke down early with Bayne and Kross taking down dropkicks from World and Hyan, but caught both on crossbody attempts to deliver stereo fallaway slams. We saw Willow, who fought them both off, sent Kross crashing outside, Mone in and launched Willow out, as Hyan, who made a blind tag, got a jackknife pin for the two, but then a brutal spear folding Mone up for another near fall. Mone was able to hit a moneymaker after that for the pinfall victory. So again, the heels standing tall to close out the show. And Mercedes versus Willow was teased in this match as well. We might see Willow taking the title from Tekla at Redemption. And the Divine Dominion looks fantastic with Mercedes as well. So we might see this trio more often on the TV going forward as well. So plenty to look forward in the coming weeks. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.